A website known as Victoria Milan, which is a cheating website. It's a place where people who are married can go and find other people to cheat with, did a survey of 4,000 of its members, and they found some really interesting reasons as to why men and women cheat and what type of people they cheat with. So I wanted to share some of the results with you, just in case you're in a marriage or in a monogamous relationship and you want to keep your man or woman happy, okay? So 30% of the men who cheated with women that were actually younger than their current partners. And that's actually kind of surprising because
No, it's not. It's not surprising.
No,
it's shocking.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
only 30% cheated with women who were younger?
That makes me really happy, actually.
Okay, all right, well, I mean, they're cheating on you either way, so I'm not sure that there's something to be happy about.
There's that extra sting if it's someone younger than you.
Yeah. So it turns out that they don't really care about the looks. So, and that's surprising to a lot of people. Most of the time, the person they think is actually worse looking than their spouse, whether it's a guy or a girl, right?
Yeah.
So why do they do it, Anna?
They do it because they're looking for the validation. They're looking for support. They're looking for passion and love. In fact, 25% of the men found their mistresses more interesting or more in shape than their partners. That's only a quarter, right?
Right.
However, the men admitted that they found their mistresses to be more passionate, better listeners, and more caring than their significant others.
All right, let me decipher that. First of all, yeah, you marry your wife because you get along, and so you have sex with your mistress not because she's interesting, but because she exists. Okay, and she's interested, and stuff. And it's not like, oh, she's hotter. It's that it is like when you're in a marriage, very normal that people have to compromise all the time. That's the nature of a relationship.
Compromise, and then it gets boring.
Right.
Yeah.
So one, it's like, oh, they're passionate. It's not that they're more passionate than your wife is or than your husband is. It's just that it's new. That's why there's like passion, like, well, because that's in our DNA to be more interested in and have that passion towards a new person, right? And then the second part is when you compromise, you're getting on each other's nerves, even in the best relationships, right? And when someone comes along and instead of yelling at you to take out the garbage or to, whatever guys yell at their wives for, there's a million things, right? Okay? And then somebody comes by and says, oh, you know what? You're really good. You're really smart, or you're really pretty, or whatever it is. All of a sudden, the wife or the husband's like, oh, am I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
it's impossible not to get interested in them. But you got to get beyond that. Come on, that's shallow. You're just looking for attention.
It's the buzz of something new, and you get to a point in your life where you are willing to let go of that buzz, of never feeling butterflies in your stomach again, and just settling down with one person and never feeling that excitement.
Yeah.
That's a scary, scary feeling.
Well, you emphasize that because you're single and you keep thinking about that, but there's also great, great benefits to marriage.
Yeah.
Nothing like the feeling of having kids and sharing that with your wife, etc. So there's huge upsides. But that's why, the graphic that we're running here says attention whores, which is a little harsh, right? But I get mad at people who cheat, like long-term, have the mistresses, whether they're guys or they're girls, because if you were married to that mistress, you'd have the same exact problem, right? And eventually, by the way, when guys or women have someone that's a long-term partner who's a mistress who's not in the relationship, they eventually get to fighting with them. Then you're married to two people. And if you thought one was hard enough, oh boy, then you got two, right? Yeah. It's double the trouble. So just like, I get the passion, I get that it's built into our DNA, I get people cheating on one another. I don't know, to me, it gets under my skin when it's long term.
Okay, fair enough. Now, we've done enough male bashing here. Let's do some female bashing because they were also surveyed in this. 50% of the females said that their lovers were in better shape. So slightly more women are looking for hotter dudes to cheat with.
So that's interesting. Yeah. Women care more about the looks than men do when they're looking to cheat.
And the interesting part about this is, and this is just my speculation because the study didn't go into this, but I would argue that the women fall for the lover in more instances than the men do, because it's harder for women to take the emotion out of it. I think it might start off that way, but before you know it, you start becoming emotionally attached to that person. I saw this TED Talk that talked about dopamine levels in your brain every time you have sex. Every time you have sex, the dopamine levels, boop, spike.
Yes.
And then you become emotionally attached to that person. And women experience it more than men do.
Yeah. No, I have not. There's been a decent number of relationships in my life where I did not feel attached at all. I had lots of dopamine going on, and that was a lot of fun. But I let it go. So that's a phenomenon. But the last number is the one I found most fascinating.
All right. 89.6% of women say that the man they're cheating with makes them feel more appreciated than their significant other.
So men, that's the key. And it's true for, the vice versa as well, but not quite as pronounced as with women. Look, if you want your wife not to cheat on you, show her attention. It's not that complicated, right? Now, I know it gets tough from time to time, but if you appreciate what she does and you let her know every once in a while, you show her attention and you say how lovely she is and, et cetera, she's a lot less likely to fuck some other dude. Okay, I'm keeping it real. Now you're calling what you like to do, okay, but 89.6%, think about it.